minimize this so we can look at the pretty pictures. Hey guys, Ryan here, Midwest Motor Promotions. And I know I skipped last month. There was a snafu with the band. Those things happen. And we almost had that this time. But I bring you my first in-person interview, I believe, for MMP. No, in about a year, probably. Mr. Josh Kellerman.
Hello, hello, hello. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
You too.
I know we just saw each other like 2 weeks ago. But
yeah, I saw you fix the glitch right when I got there, and then shortly after I was blacked out. So I don't know how much we chatted that evening. I don't recall because it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit at the table. You talked about the new stuff. We talked about the interview. What else did we talk about? We talked about black metal.
Oh, man.
And my dislike of the production of most black metal.
Yeah. Is it because of the bass?
It's because of the sounds like it's recorded in a basement.
Yeah.
Really, really shitty mics.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Which I know is the aesthetic, but, you know.
I grew up listening. Cool flyer on your TV, by the way. That was a great show. I grew up listening to a lot of rehearsal tapes and stuff from 80s thrash bands and whatnot.
Which have about the same fidelity.
Yeah, so I can kind of adjust to it. I don't understand why people want it particularly, but I can listen to it and enjoy it.
Yeah. So why? I mean, because you're I mean, not only a musician, you do radio stuff. You're just a scenester. I see you everywhere. You're promoting all over the place, which is awesome. So how did we get here? Are you a Minnesota native?
Yep, Minnesota native. I spent a year and a half out of state in Colorado Springs. Just didn't work out down there, and gladly I'm back. Ended up hooking up with some longtime friends for some great music, and I'm really glad that things have worked out the way they have, that this has happened. But yeah, Minnesota native.
Awesome.
All the way, mostly St. Paul area, but I now find myself out in Maple Grove, so it's kind of weird being on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, as one who hasn't held residence outside of the city of Minneapolis, yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, it's a change of pace.
So, because we were talking about the Earl Root and the root of all evil, which we'll get to in a little bit, about that whole thing, and that how you used to listen to it like all the time when you were younger.
Oh yeah. Yep. And KFAI, even before the root of all evil, there was a show called Adrenaline Solutions and a show called Nocturnal Emissions that were on Saturday nights before Earl. And they weren't purely metal, but they would play a metal set here and there and a punk set here and there. And that's where I discovered like my love for the underground and for the local scene. And like I'm eternally grateful to KFAI and so like just thrilled to be able to be a part of it right now. But yeah, when Earl came on, I already knew Earl a little bit and followed the show from show one and listened to it quite a bit. And you know, before the internet, what a fantastic way to discover new music and you know, as well as get a big dose of the classics that you're wanting to hear and everything. So
of course, yeah.
So yeah, I love KFAI. I love the root of all evil, and I am humbled to get to be a part of it and part of even just a glimmer of sand in the legacy of Earl Root, because I love that man. Great guy.
Awesome.
I miss him terribly.
Yeah, and we'll get to all that, but let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. I like to start these with what I call the two firsts.
Okay.
And the first of those is, what was the first album, cassette, whatever medium, you purchased with your own money?
With my own money.
If you remember.
Well, let's see. It's the redeeming factor is that the 7-inch that I purchased with my own money was Come On Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot. Nice. When I was like, let's see, that was 83 or 84, and I was born in 72, so 11 or 12. Mm-hmm. And that's when I discovered my love for music, was that heavy guitar tone on Metal Health just sucked me in, and it's never stopped. Mm-hmm. But the first full length I ever bought was Weird Al in 3D.
I will never dislike anyone who likes Weird Al.
No, Weird Al is great, but you know, you kind of wish it would have been like, yeah, my first record was Black Sabbath, but no, Weird Al in 3D.
In 3D is much better than mine, which was Motley Crue's Theater of Pain.
Oh yeah, if it was Shout at the Devil, I would be like, you nailed it. But
no, I got into it
yeah.
a little bit too late, and I jumped on the Smoke in the Boys' Room
bandwagon. They were a little too pretty for me on that one, and that's around the time that I had found KFAI and moved on from Quiet Riot and Motley Crue and Wasp and whatever, and started finding the heavier stuff. And
then, what was the first concert you attended?
First concert was Quiet Riot. Nope. Uncle brought me to Cheap Trick and REL Speedwagon at Riverfest down by Lake Harriet.
Nice.
But the first one that I went to where it was like, we got somebody's dad to bring us. Mm-hmm. Quiet Riot and Whitesnake on the Slide It In tour, and Condition Critical for Quiet Riot. So Whitesnake on the Slide It In tour was like 3/5 of Deep Purple, and then John Sykes on guitar. I mean, it was great seeing Quiet Riot, but it's really cool that I got to see some legends at the same time, like, rocking out. And I like that Slide It In album. It's the only Whitesnake album I really like, but I like it.
Yeah, again, my Whitesnake started with the 87 album.
Okay.
And had to go backwards.
Tawny Katane.
Well, R.I.P.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, okay, so how, this is another one I ask, which I don't have an answer for, and people are trying to get an answer out of me, and I can't. Did you ever have that kind of aha moment where you saw something or heard something like, and maybe you've already answered it, that okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is going to be a part of my life forever?
Well, I think every budding metalhead probably thinks they're committed for life. Not all of them end up being that way, and that's fine. For some people, I'm about to turn 49 in June, and it's just still speaking to my soul, and it's what moves me and what I want to create and enjoy. And so as far as an aha moment, all the way back to being like 14 or 15 years old, I still remember being, I don't remember what the name of the store was, but I was with my buddy Brian Holtzkamp, and we were looking at, Hit Parader magazine, and it was a picture of Stephen Piercy. We knew we were going to start a band. Didn't know what I was going to do yet, and I was like, I'm going to sing. And for some reason I remember that. Nothing to do with Stephen Piercy's voice or any particular inspiration, but it was a picture of him when it clicked with me. So I do have kind of an aha moment. And then it ended up working out. I could sing okay. And I, shredded my vocal cords when I was young, and now I can do weird things with them, and, and it works out.
Okay, so stemming off of that, let's go through, what was your first band? Where do you go from there?
First band was Defile. We actually started out called Manson, which I'm pretty proud of, way before Marilyn Manson. But we were out for the controversy right away. It was just brutal fast thrash, like trying to push the boundaries of the time. It was a great band. We actually reformed in 2006 and put out a CD.
Oh, nice.
Back then we only got a demo out, and it really didn't do us justice anyway, so it was great that we got that time to do that CD, and then they did some stuff after I left the band too that's fantastic. So Defile. I've got it on my arm. As well as Impact Wrench, the next one I'll talk about.
Impact Wrench, let's go.
that was my next band that I was in for a good long while, and man, just brothers that I love with all my heart. It was like crossover thrash. Started out more like Creator and Dark Angel on the first demo, and then progressed into DRI, Nuclear Assault. I don't even know where to go because, you know, crazy time and just, I think we got a little bit ahead of our time, I would say. Not, I'm speaking for the musicians in the band, so I separate myself when I say something like that. But they were writing some really cool stuff that kind of, like, became popular after they were doing it. So, I give them a lot of credit, and at the time I didn't realize and appreciate to the degree that I do now what they were coming up with. Not that I didn't love it at the time, but it was just, you know, thrash. Yeah, I love it. It's making me move, but they were doing some pretty creative stuff in there that I didn't get.
Very cool. Very cool.
So just props out to those guys. We didn't play a lot of bar shows. We were, you know, younger. And we wanted to get into that niche, but it was hard to do. We nagged Decker over and over and over and over. I don't know if you ever knew Don or Sean. Went by both at different times. But we never really got the bar thing going, but we played so many basements and garages on the east side of St. Paul. I mean, you know, we played 60, 70 shows over the 4 or 5 years we were doing it. And most of them were in people's houses, but they were great. It was, you know, fantastic. We played with all sorts of different bands, a lot of punk and alternative bands at the time, a few other metal bands. It was great.
Awesome.
It was an excellent band to get it going with, and like I said, they're forever brothers.
Nice. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a good basement show, nothing wrong with a good house show.
No. Often they're way funner than, you know, being at some lame bar or whatever.
Oh yeah, because you don't have all the restrictions.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Yep.
Okay, so in the timeline, what are we talking here? We're talking probably.
Well, let's see.
2000s maybe.
Oh God, no.
Or not even.
Defile was started out 88, 89, and ended probably in 90. And then Impact Wrench was like 90 through 94, 95, somewhere in there. They were around before me too. They started in 88, 89 also.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, this is even way further back than that. Yeah, like I said, 49 in a couple months here.
47, so I'm not that far.
Oh, cool. Solidarity, brother.
So then, where do we go from Impact? I mean, have you been in bands pretty much since like 1988?
Nope.
Or did you take like a chunk off, or
took a chunk off after Impact Wrench. Actually, right before Impact Wrench ended, and kind of I don't know, it was going on at the same time. Might have went a little after, might have ended a little sooner. I don't remember. I was in a punk rock band called Dink, with a lowercase d. Get that right if you ever write it down. And it actually included Billy Morissette of Dillinger 4 fame. So
nice.
I'm so happy to have seen him go on to such, you know, wonderful success. And you know, City Pages ranked him in the top 10 Minnesota bands of all time. I was like, you know, Husker Du, Dillinger 4. Like, okay, wow, cool. That's amazing, Bill. So proud of him. Anyway, getting off track there.
Oh.
Yeah, Dink. We practiced like 6 or 7 times, I think, and we played 30 or 40 shows. We thrived off of raw, like, unleashed aggression. So it was good that it was sloppy and chaotic, and that we weren't, like, you know, it was like the opposite of Semtex.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm in a band where it's like perfect.
All about precision.
Like right behind me is like a wall of precision, exactly. And this was the opposite. This was chaos, and like I was like the ringmaster of just. And
well, and as I've discovered being in Strike, that is the fun of punk rock. Is the the not knowing what's going to happen, the unpredictability.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, really, you never know what you're walking into at a punk show. It's great. So yeah, those were fun times. And shortly after that, I became a single parent and took a long time off from music. That's when I pretty much sat out until that Defile reunion in like 2006, 2007. And since then, I've started doing little projects here and there, but nothing serious until Semtex, which actually in a few days here we hit 4 years on June 1st.
Wow.
So yeah, we've got that going, and I couldn't be more thrilled. that's I did have that big gap in there, but I'm back on the attack.
Oh yeah. And I think a lot of us, have had like gaps like that, where it's kind of like either, you know, the projects just aren't there, or you're just burned out on the scene, or, you know, whatever factors come into play.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, children and family are huge. You know.
I also, not that I want to get super into it in this interview, but I'm not ashamed to say that I've had some mental health issues throughout my life that have caused me like to kind of band hop and stuff throughout the years. And I'm on top of that now, and Semtex coming up on 4 years means a lot to me personally, because I've had a hard time with that in the past. Not because of anybody I've been in bands with mm-hmm. or anybody else, just because of, you know, mm-hmm. my own issues. And I forgot where I was going with that. But I just wanted to speak out and say I'm not ashamed of that, and solidarity to those who are struggling. Keep fighting the good fight. Don't give up. It's rough, but you know, day by day, moment by moment. And sorry for getting off track there.
You'll find in my interviews there is no off track.
Okay, good. Because I smoke a little bit too much weed, and I sometimes forget where I'm going with something. So
happens to the best of us. I've never smoked weed in my life, and that happens to me. So.
Really? Yeah. I did have it happen prior to being a pothead, but now I shouldn't even bag on weed, because I think it's totally positive. So mm-hmm. not trying to say it makes you forgetful super bad or whatever, but I am probably a little more of a space case.
It depends on what you're working with in the first place, too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But legalize that shit, damn it.
Legalize it just for my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smoke it, but I don't want my friends getting in trouble. And it's just, it's ridiculous at this point, but it's not.
If it even is an evil, it's a lesser evil than alcohol by far.
Than alcohol, than any narcotics, than anything Big Pharma is pushing. I mean,
legalize it and do something about the pain pill epidemic and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm getting way off track, but yeah, that's a personal thing for me too that I am passionate about.
Yeah, definitely. So, why do we talk about Semtex? Since we're coming up on an anniversary, and they are your current only project at this point? Yep.
Dinking around with a few things here and there, but
so how did Semtex come to be? How did?
Well, who had the post up? My buddy Nick Warhead. He had a post up saying that he was thinking about switching over to bass and playing with somebody because his band wasn't working out at the time. Dennis had posted something that said, hey, we need a guitar player, blah, blah, blah. And so I responded on the post and said, hey, what about a vocalist? Because I literally, for years, had thought, man, if I could ever jam with Mike and Dennis Curran. And
how did you know? Did you know of them, or did you know them?
Yep. When I was in Impact Wrench and stuff, we were from the east side of St. Paul, and so were the Currans.
Okay, so you mix circles.
Yeah. Okay. All the metalheads, knew each other and whatever. And Mike's first band was called Demonic Conception, which ended up turning into like Avalanche. It was those guys, and awesome band. And Dennis, I don't remember what his first project was, but he's a little younger than me, and Mike's got a year or two on me. Dennis I've got a year or two on him. But Mike I was always aware of, and Dennis, I still remember the first time I met him. I was at Impact Wrenches practice, and he rode up on his bike. And
not motorcycle, I take it, but actual bicycle.
Pedal bike. I was probably 17, he was probably 14 or something, and I had heard that he was already a shredding guitar player, and it was crazy because he dude on his bike, but yeah, Dennis is a shredding guitar player.
Well, both those guys just ooze talent. I mean, Dennis is insane. Mike is a fucking machine. It's like I say,
separate myself. I am not like an egomaniac by any means, but about my band members, I am. Like,
you have to be.
Oh my God, I am playing with some dudes. This is fantastic. I have the pressure of not ruining their compositions with my screaming. So
yeah, fair.
So yeah, I do my best. I try to do justice to wonderful music that I am really happy to be a part of.
Okay, so we have the brothers and we have Nick on bass.
Nope, Damien.
No, we're going back to formation.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. But Nick never did play bass.
Oh, okay.
So that was just a post.
Gotcha.
Nope. Damien was the only bass player we've ever had.
Okay.
But we did have one other guitar player.
I know your other guitar player.
Mr. Rob Esperson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who has gone on to do many, many different things. All of them cool.
Yeah, and has a new project that I think once COVID has passed and whatnot, as far as I know, they're still going with it, and it should be unleashed.
Yeah, as far as I know, that's still going.
Him and Zach.
Yeah.
It's going to be good stuff. Thrash Attack.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob is awesome as a person and as a guitar player.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh, it was great being in a band with him. So yeah, he's the only ex-member though. And then we've got Aaron Limo on guitar. Limitian. I still don't have his last name down. I'm sorry, Aaron. You've told me like 18 times. He even says it in this great boisterous way. He's like, Limitian! So that's probably it right there because I was...
Yeah, just recreate that in your head.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah. Aaron fits so good. He plays so good. We have come together as a unit, and it's every band I've been in has been, like this, but wow, Semtex, we have really meshed, and it's a beautiful thing. Even outside of the music, it's just total family. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. It's a great group of guys.
Yeah, it's funny, kind of. Like I think the family element is even more prevalent when there's actual family involved. If you're like, with a brother, sister, or two brothers, or whatever. Yeah, that just kind of adds to it.
Definitely. And they've been playing together so long that's obviously the core of our band.
Yeah.
Is Mike and Dennis and their unbelievable ability to know what each other are going to do next. You listen to them at practice, and every practice they compose a new song. It's unbelievable. They anticipate and they feel and
not just anticipate, but top and like accentuate and like weave it. Yeah,
very much. Yeah.
If you've never seen Semtex, fucking go see them. They're incredible.
Thank you, man. I love us too. I think you enjoy it, and it's not only music at the shows, it's also just a blast.
Oh yeah, it's always
the metal shows in general in town. So many people are missing out on a great time, and hey, make Semtex your first time checking it out, because like I said, my band members are something to watch.
Yeah, definitely without a doubt. And hopefully we get through summer. Hopefully by late summer, fall, we can start getting back to somewhat regular shows again.
Hopefully, yeah.
It'd be nice.
We've got one June 26th in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. So if anybody's feeling up to a road trip with endless rain, it's going to be incredible. I'm sorry I can't remember the name of the other band. I believe they're from out there, but I just found out what it was today. Sorry about that. But endless rain. Matt Rutherford. Mike Bloodfist. It's going to be an incredible time.
Yeah,
they're going to be 2 weeks recovered from Wascos, however you pronounce that. Should be able to be standing by then.
Well, I mean, considering Wascos isn't really Wascos this year. I mean, it's like a 1 day.
Oh yeah,
it's the Safety Joe Fest.
Not quite up to the.
It's not the normal 4 days.
Oh,
5
okay.
days.
I've never been out there. I didn't realize it was that extensive. Wow.
Yeah, usually I think it's at least Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Jeez.
Maybe Wednesday night. But it's just like a week of metal and drinking and camping and just insanity.
Yeah, like I said, 49 in like 2 months here. No, 1 month. 49, can't do it. Back in the day, days on end, no problem. But yeah.
Yeah, getting old kind of sucks.
For a night, no band will party harder than Semtex. But
that is true.
I've
witnessed it. I've talked about it on this channel. Yes, it's a good time.
Yes, it is a great time. The Currens are great for more than just music, as well as Damien and Aaron. Just
yeah.
What an entertaining band to be in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like to party. We like shots.
Shots of your friends.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the scene. Let's talk about. So what was do you remember your first show with Semtex?
Yes. So it was at oh dang, am I gonna be? It might. I can't think of the name of it. It's down in Savage. It's a sports bar.
Nison's?
Nison's, yep, or Nison's or whatever it is. Yep. Not that many people showed up. It was like a kind of a festival thing, but it was great to be.
Was it one of the Sword Metal Fests?
Nope, it wasn't Sword Metal. It was this dude Matt. I can't remember. Haven't seen him online for a while or anything. Maybe Matt Moore. Put on a festival. I can't remember what he called it. 4 years ago now. But anyways, it was great. I hadn't been on stage for 10 years. And I'm up there and I'm like, okay, how is this going to feel? You know, it was always tiring and fatiguing and everything. And I'm like, now I'm 40, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do what I used to do. I start jumping up and down. And I snag my foot on the mic cord and almost fall down on Mike's drums. Oops. Within 30 seconds of being on stage. Like literally right into Face Your Enemy, and I'm like haven't sung anything yet, and I'm almost falling on the drum set. Yeah,
right into that gorgeous, beautiful emerald green.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God I didn't wipe into that, man. But yeah, what a start. And you know, we felt elated when we got off the stage. Of course, if we watch the video now, we're horrified. but yeah. That was the first show. It was great for what it was.
Do you remember any other bands on the bill?
All Kings Fall from Wisconsin. Matrakas. Dang it, that's all I got.
Hey, that's.
And I should know more because I have a shirt with all the bands on it. I haven't worn it for a while. Trying to keep it in good shape for the collection.
Oh, of course. So. As far as shows go, some of the favorite people we played with, favorite venues that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's the obvious one. Man, do we miss Lee's. Felt like we were becoming one of the house bands there, and it was awesome. I loved it there, man.
With the exception of one band in particular, I never saw a bad show at Lee's.
No.
And this was a band. And this is a side story, and I've talked about this on the channel too. That Raven Black poster right there, the Little Monsters tour.
Yeah.
The band Hail Sagan, and I will call them out. Two things: they they're from LA, I think, and they were just on the tour. They were obviously lip syncing, which in a place like Lee's you do not fucking do.
No, my God.
And it was obvious because when the singer would go to talk, she was screaming. And it's just like, because she was,
What's the point?
And then there was some sort of altercation in the parking lot afterwards involving them. I don't remember what it was, but it was kind of they pulled like kind of a dick move. And so, but the rest of that show was awesome. Because Raven Black, if you've never seen them, they're fun to watch. Infamous Memories and Karma Sutra opened that show.
Ooh.
A good 2-punch there. And then there was a trio. I don't remember how to pronounce their name, but it was a singer, a drummer, and a guitar player. And they managed to pull off a cover of Painkiller, which was absolutely amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good.
How'd they do vocally on that? That's a bitch.
Well, they had a female vocalist, so she
Nice.
Still, it was impressive.
Very cool.
And I don't remember how to pronounce your name. I apologize, but you guys are awesome. But Hail Sagan was not good.
Hail Sagan. The name's funny. I gotta give them that.
Good name, but horrible band. But yeah, other than that, I never saw a bad show at Lee's. They have the best sound. It was the perfect sized venue.
Nope, and props to Greg Chilton, who did a lot of the booking there for booking good, solid, awesome show after show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A man with taste.
Very good taste. So what other bands, what other venues, what other shows have you attended?
Let's see.
Let's just talk about the scene, man, because we have an awesome one, and it should be spotlighted more.
We sure do. and that's one of the things I love to do on The Root of All Evil is pimp the local stuff. I'm just going to reflect back to a few of our first shows then. The second one was at Opinion Brewery, and it's too bad that folded because that was a fun place to play.
Yeah, I only saw a couple shows there, but they were really, really good.
It was great. That show stands out in particular for meeting Matt Rutherford, and Infamous Memories played, and their set stood out. Arudius played. Man, did they stand out. Oh, do I miss them. Oh my gosh, what a band. So sad that they've moved on from doing that project. Who else played that one? Man, Castor Valaire.
Oh, Castor Valaire, they're fun too.
Yep. So that was the first time I seen them. I've seen them a couple times since. I think that's all. Contagion, I think.
Okay.
If that doesn't ring a bell, I'm probably wrong.
No, but the name sounds familiar.
It's a C word, and I think it's Contagion. But I don't know. That was a while ago. Okay, I can only remember the first two shows in succession. But let's see. I got to pimp Krog, of course.
Of course.
Our drummer Mike
Krog
is in another band. Moloch we've played with twice, and they've blown me away both times.
I've never seen Moloch.
Oh man, fantastic!
I've seen everybody else on that poster. I've seen Descent of Man and Morning Down if you know. Have I seen Krog? I must have seen Krog at some point.
We played with Mordic once. Never played with Down Inferno, but I know Juan and all of his bands are freaking awesome. And Glutton for Punishment.
Yeah, I don't know if Down is doing anything right now because I think he's concentrating more on Bloodware right now. But
yeah.
But both bands are awesome.
Oh yeah. And I never got to see Descent of Man. I'm very upset about that. That would have been a fantastic band to see. But let's see, Krog, Glutton for Punishment, of course. They are lucky and get a lot of the national shows and kill it at each one. You know, I got to be careful with who I talk about, because I was going to talk about a band that starts with I, and they're kind of out of the scene. Let's see, who else do we need to pimp? Obviously, Endless Rain, who we're playing with.
We've gone through a number of lineup changes, but they're still awesome.
This new CD is my favorite by them.
Oh, the new CD is incredible. It's
yeah.
They've done.
Oh, easily. Blew me away, man.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. Yasilic. Oh my god. I get so geeked out on drummers, and Aaron Lanik just.
He is one of them.
Oh man. Whew. Aaron.
Him, Mike Kern, of course. You got Tom Tier from Coffin Rights.
Yep. Oh, he's incredible.
Monster.
Unreal. Yep. And Ogre. Mm-hmm. Eric Ogre Baumgart. He's a blast beat monster. Mm-hmm. I gotta throw a shout out to my man from South Dakota, Alex Simpson. Have you seen Oppress the Tyrant before?
I'm sure I have at some point.
They've been down here a couple times. I just went up and saw him a couple weeks ago, and he left my jaw on the floor. Just he's also the drummer for Casket Robbery.
Oh, okay. I know Casket.
Yeah.
I've never seen. This is odd. I know Casket. I've interviewed Megan and Corey. I've never seen Casket.
Oh, okay.
Which is just like stupid.
They're great.
Oh, no, I know they're great.
The only time I did is we were fortunate enough to play with them down in Wisconsin at a festival thingy. But they were incredible. Good, great band to see live.
Yeah, and again, the nicest people you ever want to meet.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can only speak for Alex, but he was very hospitable when I was up in South Dakota a couple of weeks ago, and I thank him for that. I went solo, so it was good to be recognized and acknowledged.
Yes. And I mean, we have to talk about, since you're a thrash guy, we have to talk about Hex Vortices.
Oh, God, yeah. How dare I? I mean, number one, Tom, a veteran of Impaler.
Tom Coxford, who's been in the scene.
Yeah.
You know.
I've even got like his old stuff with Acheron on MP3. I don't have the originals, unfortunately. I would love to have them, but I've got them on MP3 even back then. Thrashmaster.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's just.
And so back in August, I think, they did this online festival, like from South America, I think.
Yeah.
And I had the honor and privilege of shooting their set, the video for their set.
Cool.
And you will never know Power, like crouching down in front of his kit while he's playing to get a shot, and having you snared him right in your ear.
I believe it.
Jesus. Even in a rehearsal space, it was still like.
Oh, yeah. No, he is a powerhouse.
And again, a fucking teddy bear of a man. Just
yeah.
But yeah, an absolute monster.
But yeah, they on the whole, just incredible. And that new CD rips the first one, which who thought you'd be able to do that? I mean, crazy. Matt is just ridiculous on guitar. Leaves my jaw on the floor. I keep saying that, you know. But yeah, he's incredible. They all are. That's a great job, guys. Keep it up, and let's play some shows together.
Absolutely. And then, of course, going younger generation, we have to talk about Agony Reigns.
Oh, yeah. Youngsters.
The new thrash kids who are, you know, barely in their 20s.
Yeah.
And have this professionalism like nobody's business, and is playing stuff that sounds like it should have been released in 1989.
Yep, it's unbelievable. Prodigies, man. They're once again just they blow you away. It's youngsters, and not to get off track and a little more death metal, but Begravement too. Youngsters, just how you doing that already? Mm-hmm. But Agony Reigns, we need to play with you also.
Yeah, I mean Agony Reigns, Strapato is really, really good.
We played with Strapato and they're awesome. Great band.
I feel like there's like a few more of the younger ones that I'm missing.
There was Solace and Murder, and I actually heard they were possibly coming back.
Really?
I don't know if there is any truth to that, but I'm trying to remember where I heard that.
Yeah, I think I saw them once, probably at either a Lee show or Terminal show.
We played with them a couple times, Club Underground and up in St. Cloud at a thingy up there, the red carpet. Mm-hmm. And of course, too bad Mortificator's gone. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had Thrash Madness there.
Oh, absolutely, man.
But yeah, there's getting back on track with current bands. Ghost Hook. Ghost Hook is still here, and Ghost Hook is fantastic, and they're looking for a new guitar player. Mm-hmm. If you've got the chops, get a hold of them, because you know, they've got ties going back to Anal Blast. You gonna beat that?
Probably not.
No, incredible guys and incredible musicians.
And let's throw a shot to Echoes of the Fallen.
Echoes of the Fallen, of course.
Alex saw today is looking for a new vocalist.
That's right.
Very interesting.
Alex is not their vocalist anymore. I recall that now. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what direction they go with that.
Yeah, because their last album was really, really good too.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, I think it's hard for me. Well, Fix the Glitch. Not death metal, not thrash metal, not metal.
Not really metal, but awesome.
Oh my God! And James's vocals just makes me jealous, man. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Keep it up. My God. Speaking of great vocalists, Micah Devereaux, Ageless Warrior. Mm. Oh my God, that band is great, and he's also in another project called Sentient Machine that you got to check out.
Nice.
Wowzers. He's a talented individual and just somebody that makes me cry as a vocalist. Like, why can't I have half of that?
There's a lineup for you.
Ooh.
Black Sabbath with openers Alice Cooper and Yes.
Yeah, that's not intimidating at all, having Yes open for you. Like, not that Black Sabbath and Alice Cooper don't have their legendary status, but if you're talking like musical talent, like you've got some frickin' prog, you know.
Well, yeah, and just to count, because I'm guessing this is probably, 70, 71 maybe.
Yeah. Oh my God, so that's like prime to see all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy crap.
And for $5 in Ottawa. Anyway, distraction. Yeah, I was going to say something. Oh, because I don't know how to pronounce the name. Borshara?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Borra. Yeah.
Because I just saw they did one of the 1459 things.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. I picked up their CD. We played with them once. Fortunately, that was great.
But just as a general fan, I was going to ask you, because from what I've seen, it's just 3 people. It's just a guitar player, bass player, and drummer. Singer, drummer, guitar player. And they didn't seem to have a bass player, which I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I saw another band whose name I don't recall, who had a drummer, 2 guitar players, and 2 singers. Of course, they all have the 8-string, 10-string, whatever they're playing now, so they cover the bass.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the sound is just off. It doesn't have that low end.
Gotta have that in there.
Call me old school, but
no,
you need a bass player.
You need a bass player. I understand. Like, Krog once had to do a show without Wes because I think he had a surgery or something. Mm-hmm. And if you got to do a show, I understand Troop On.
Show, whatever.
But yeah, if you're going to make it full-time without a bass player, it's kind of weird.
There's only one band that could get away without a bass player, and that was the Doors.
Yeah, they pulled it off pretty well. They had Ray holding that down.
Yeah, and even then, they used a bass player in the studio, so...
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion corner, is that...
I'm with you. No skipping the bass player.
Even if you have a 2-hand guitar or a 10-string or whatever, get a freaking bass player.
Yep. Do it.
Because you just need that low end that a low-tuned guitar just can't cover.
Nope. It doesn't.
You think it can.
Not the same thing.
No, not at all. So any other... like memorable show experiences? Afterwards at a Denny's at 3 a.m. or any of those kind of stories that you're legally allowed to say on it?
So of course, being with you, I'm thinking of the Whiskey Junction night, but I think I'm going to hold off on getting too into detail there. That was a wild and crazy one. Definitely a lot of shots of whiskey that night.
Yeah. I'm not a whiskey guy. I've always had at least 4 shots, so yeah, that was... Well, yeah, if somebody else is buying them, I'll take them, sure.
Oh, man. Like I said, Semtex family, man. You're part of it as long as you want to be. You've been there since, right at the beginning.
Pretty much since the get-go, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the first place I saw you. It was probably either Lee's or the Terminal.
We haven't played the Terminal, so probably Lee's.
Oh!
That's one of the few places we haven't been at.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it probably was.
Yeah.
Well, then it'd probably be Lee's or maybe Club Underground, but it was probably Lee's.
Bands to throw out real quick. Impaler, The Legends.
Yes.
Got to be mentioned. Not that the rest of us pee on lowly bands. All right.
You're on that show.
Excellent. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good time. Driftwood Char Bar.
If I went to that one or not. I may have.
And then I've been back there to see Mr. Bob Drew's band. He's got a new one. I don't know what they're called yet.
Really?
Yeah. Doing some new jamming. Impaler, Mastiff. Our guitar player Aaron is in the band, as well as the drummer from Impaler, Aaron. Bobby Icon on guitar. What are you going to do there? You got the Icon. Neil Pruitt on bass. I mean, besides Blake and, who's going to make you drool like Neil? I mean, Damien. And I know I'm forgetting one of them. Who am I forgetting? Do you know?
You're probably forgetting a lot of them.
Okay. Mr. Alan Town.
Oh, yeah.
He's the last one I haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
Al.
Yeah.
Al, in a band with the guitar player Aaron that I'm in a band with. So I have to have the pressure of having a guitar player who's also in a band with Alan Town. So I'm like, great, no pressure there. You're only in the band with one of the town's legendary vocalists, So, but
that's another thing. I mean, thinking about it, in our little tight-knit community, there are so many people like Allentown, people like Robert Carlson, these kind of guys that are people like Tom Croxton that are literally legends.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the scene wouldn't be the scene without them.
Nope. There's a good number of them to list off. Brian Odens, Greg Chilton, nonstop. There are people that have been in this since the 80s or 90s that have, stayed with it steadfast and kept this thing alive and thriving. And
yeah, absolutely.
For us to still have a scene when we're this old and accepted by some of the youngsters.
Well, I was going to say, it's because of the younger bands that the scene still is around.
Yep. And it's great that they don't just ignore us.
Well, and I mean, just as a personal note, I appreciate that they're playing stuff that we grew up with.
Yes.
And they're not doing this.
Yes.
I mean, I've heard some of the new metal that they're playing.
Yeah.
I'm not talking new metal and new metal like some of the...
No, like metalcore kind of...
It's beyond metalcore. Like, I can listen to metalcore.
Yeah, me too, some of it. But
they're like bringing elements of like trance and like hip hop stuff and just
the boy band stuff.
Weird.
Yeah,
and not to sound like an old man, but it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is. It's like I grew up on Bonded by Blood and Hell Awaits, and it's like that would have been weird if New Kids on the Block kicked in the middle of it. So
the only band I'll accept that kind of stuff from is Baby Metal.
I've never really checked them out, but I did see a thing that you should not diss Baby Metal. Like, they have passionate followers.
They have passionate followers, one of them being Rob Halford.
Rob Halford, really?
So, yeah, you really shouldn't diss.
No.
I mean, musically, it's the weirdest thing, because musically, some of it's like heavy as shit, and it's awesome. But then you have like these little girl Japanese voices over it, and it's jarring, but it's still fucking cool.
I am gonna have to give that a fair shot.
Definitely.
It's kind of freaked me out.
Understandably. God, what else? So how did you get involved in the DJing thing? At KFI,
KFAI 90.3.
How did that start?
Actually, when you bring up memorable shows, one of the most memorable was shortly before COVID, the December before, we played a Toys for Tots show, and my really good friends in a band called State of Mind that were around in the 90s did a reunion and played the show. You know, they did a couple songs on Semtex's equipment, just as kind of a makeshift reunion. They only had a weekend to prepare, but it was fantastic, and it was such a blast. And it was, as far as Semtex shows, probably my favorite. Slam Dakota last July was also incredible. And these are recent shows, so I'm just saying we're getting better and better. Get out there and check us out, man. That was a great show, and what did I get off track on? What did you ask? I'm sorry.
How you got involved in KFI?
Oh, yeah. That night, I went in with State of Mind's drummer, Matt, and went into the Root of All Evil to talk about State of Mind and the reunion and talk a little bit about Semtex and everything while I was there. And Mara the Death brought up coming in, like periodically or whatever, to sit in with people. And so I started out, you know, sitting in with just kind of everybody, checking it out and seeing how it goes. And eventually I've fallen in with Mr. Christopher Munch, who has become, you know, a partner, like a band member. We, you know, like this with doing the radio show now. And it's fantastic. And like I said, to be in the shadow of Earl Root it's everything. Not everything. I don't mean to overspeak, but it's incredible. I mean, speaking about music and like the history of Minnesota metal and whatever, everything. But yeah, it's great to be there, and that's how it came to be. And I thought that I must have misunderstood her that first night, because I'm like, really? She's saying like on a regular basis? And yeah, thank you for having me, man. I am loving it, and I hope I'm contributing well.
So plug away.
Oh, May 27th. Tomorrow, I believe, correct?
Yes. Yep.
24-hour takeover starting at midnight for KFAI 90.3, KFAI.org. It's 24 hours of metal, all in the name of Earl Root. You know, because he really brought that station a lot of good attention through the Root of All Evil over the years, and they celebrate that by taking 24 hours to play metal. I'm on from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, so I got the morning drive. That's a lot of fun, you know. Usually we do the Root of All Evil from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m., and it's all the, you know, glue sniffers that are still up.
It's a Thursday, so you'll be hitting the rush hour Rocket Man crowd. Yep.
And I got to do this last year too. It was amazing.
So how many years have they been doing this tribute?
This is the third one.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Third annual. And so yeah, tune into as much of it as you can. If you want to check me out, like I said, 6 to 9 a.m. Me and Chris Munch, and I think Mason, the normal morning guy, may be sitting in with us. He's like a major pimp at KFAI, so I would love that opportunity. And when the station has pledge drives, please contribute if you can. I mean, it keeps the metal scene alive, just like the shows. It's worth your support. I guess that's all I got, but I hope you listen. Hope you listen to the show on a regular basis as well. Like I said, even though there is the internet, I put so much time and effort into the songs I pick out. I do not like just grab 20, 30 songs and go like, okay, this will be cool. I listen and I refine my list and and it's like making a playlist for a friend, you know. You're like, okay, I want every song to count. And so I put hours and hours into the show, as does Chris. And so you're getting the product of their attention. You're maybe getting some of the junk whittled out, and you're getting some prime material right from us that you don't get by digging through the internet on your own. So give us a shot if you want to discover some new metal, or if you just want to enjoy the classics, because we play those too.
So any sneak peeks for what's going on tomorrow morning, or?
I will say from 8 to 9 a.m. it's all Earl music. Chris did all the work on that, so I can't totally speak, but I know there's going to be sound clips. He has uncovered a lot of history of the root of all evil that we're going to be sharing. As far as that's the 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour. From 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we'll be playing a lot of classics, some local stuff. We're going to get some Endless Rain in there, Impaler, of course. I can't remember who else. I believe Glutton for Punishment and Krog, maybe. But yeah, we always get the local in there. Support the local scene, man.
Oh, absolutely. And from what little research I've done about Mr. Root, I mean, pretty much the scene as it was wouldn't really exist without him. Like, he was so integral in kind of uniting everybody.
Very much. Him and Decker were kind of the poles. Mm-hmm. You know, Decker, they both had record stores at one time or another. They both promoted shows. Earl had the radio show. They were the center points of the scene, and they kept it thriving. They put time and effort and love into it, and those two guys, the whole scene should be eternally thankful to, because even these shows now, without the momentum that would have started from back then, mm-hmm. I don't even know if it would have carried, these bars would be like metal, but it's not foreign, because it's always been there, because there were people pushing it, and those were the guys, mm-hmm. Earl and Decker, and their legacy will live on and on.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, tune in.
Tomorrow, starting at midnight, going till midnight the following day. All day it's going to be the great KFAI personalities that do the Root of All Evil and Roar of the Underground. You get the metal evangelist, you can't beat that. Mm-hmm. Mr. Bill. Tune in and support the station. And listen to me and cheer me on.
So I was going to ask you, because again, I know you're a thrash aficionado. Have you been watching the 40th anniversary videos that Anthrax have been putting out?
No, I haven't.
You gotta watch them, dude.
I will.
They're so good.
I just gotta say they're not in the upper echelon of my bands.
A lot of people have that feeling about Anthrax. I personally do not, because them and Slayer were like the two first thrash bands I got into.
Okay. Slayer is my number one, but Anthrax is kind of down there a little ways.
But understandable.
Not that I don't love them and acknowledge their place in the hierarchy of all metal.
They have always been kind of the red-headed stepchild of the big four.
Yeah. I personally would have liked to see Exodus instead of Anthrax in the big four.
That's a lot of people's opinions. A lot of people would go for Testament as well.
Yeah. Exodus had a demo in '83 though, and Testament didn't until '85.
Sure.
So, and I mean, Kirk Hammett was in Exodus.
Kirk Hammett was one of the original members of Exodus.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back, and they influenced Metallica. And
no doubt.
So yeah, I think it would have been great if Exodus made it, but also, I mean, you think about Fistful of Metal coming out in '84. I mean, great speed metal record.
Oh yeah.
Just Neil Turbin with his vocal performance on that record is actually my favorite vocal performance on an Anthrax record. Even though John Bush, I love as a vocalist way more than Neil Turbin, mm-hmm. but more with Armored Saint.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
So yeah, no, I haven't watched those Anthrax videos. I will, especially since you say that they're worth the watch.
Oh, definitely. And they're on episode 11, I believe, and they just got to State of Euphoria, which is 88. So
great.
They're definitely
they're covering stuff well then.
Yeah.
Cool.
And as a bonus, Neil Turbin does do some of the commentary.
Nice.
They do track him down. So
he played at Station 4 and I didn't go, and I still just curse myself for that. To see Neil Turbin doing Death Rider live would have been just chills.
Yeah, the one like metal cover band I was in, I tried to get them to do Death Rider because I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
I was looking at it, it's like, I probably couldn't, but it would have been fun. But they kind of looked at it and went, no. I was just like, why? They're just like, no.
Oh, that's a ripper, man.
Oh, dude.
Probably freaking your singer out, though. That's some shrieking and
that was
howling
definitely
there.
part of it. That was definitely part of it. And then they're kind of looking at me like, you can do that? And I'm like, sure. I'll die after that song, but yeah, I could probably make it through. Which I don't know if I could. I honestly don't know if I could. Let's try it.
Gonna have to give that a go.
I have to give that a go. So more obviously, because I mean Charlie Benante is one of my gods. I mean he is just.
Oh, there's no denying Charlie Benante.
Charlie Benante, Dave Lombardo, obviously. Nick Menza. I loved the Nick Menza era of Megadeth. I thought that was their best lineup.
Take Nick over Gar? Because I'm a big Gar guy with that jazz influence. He really kind of...
I do appreciate that.
He came out of left field and did something different.
For sure, I appreciate that, but Rust in Peace is my favorite Megadeth album.
Yeah, I get that.
You can't really...
But because, speaking of the low fidelity not being a problem for me, Killing Is My Business is my favorite Megadeth record, so...
Yeah, I'll have to re-listen to that, because it's been a while since I've spent that, but...
Yeah, as far as, just song for song, that's the one that kills for me. The riffs and just mean vocals, awesome drums, great record.
Well, that was Dave Mustaine probably at his angriest.
Exactly. Trying to write the hardest, fastest material that he possibly could.
Yeah, to wipe the floor with...
Yep.
Wipe Metallica off the map, which unfortunately didn't quite happen.
No, didn't go according to plan, but I think Dave's comfortable. So
yeah,
it worked out for him.
Dave is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was rough for a couple of years, but Dave's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else should we talk about?
It's bugging me because I'm sure I'm forgetting at least 10 local bands I should be mentioning, but there's been COVID, so
I'm sure you'll find them.
Yeah, of course. Got like the greatest flyer collection ever going in here.
Well, and then beyond that, I mean, even beyond our home state, I mean, there's a lot of good bands from Iowa, from Wisconsin, from the Dakotas, from...
Yeah.
I mean, Gorgatron.
Gorgatron. Playing them this coming this coming Sunday morning on the Root of All Evil. I'm doing a Dakota set.
Nice.
Doing Gorgatron and Brutaler, who are broken up from North Dakota, and I'm doing Angerot and Press the Tyrant from South Dakota,
nice.
who I just traveled up there to see, and it was an incredible show. Just well worth the drive. Yeah, so just the Dakotas, look at it regionally, don't just look at it locally. It's worth making the effort to see some of these bands that are even a little bit out of state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because we mentioned Casket Robbery out of Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, of course.
Toxic Ruin.
Toxic Ruin.
Awesome.
Awesome. From Iowa, Zombies. Mutilated by Zombies. They are incredible.
Oh, that's a new name.
Yeah, by the name, I kind of expected a band that was going to be like Scream Bloody Gore influenced, and they were more like Human.
Oh.
Like, whoo, they just like...
I will have to check that out.
Yeah, they're something special. Mutilated by Zombies from Iowa. Check them out.
Yeah, I was going to say the two bands I know from Iowa are Anger Incarnate.
They're good.
Interviewing next month.
Got to see, cool. Got to see them.
And then Rising Plague, I believe, are also from Iowa.
Didn't know that. Wow, I thought they were from here.
I could be wrong on that.
They must make it up here a lot, because I assume they were from here.
They might be from here. I thought it, because I'm supposed to be interviewing them in July, so I'll find out. But I thought I saw something another band. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just the Midwest, as I've said in probably every interview I've done, not just metal or punk or hard, but like across the board. Like, this is such a fertile area, and this is such a fertile time. It's just like insane.
It is.
You know?
It is. Just thought of two more bands. Daigoro.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. And also on the oh my god, but side is Grand Demise of Civilization.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, man, you're not going to see a more intense band. Black and Death that just, it'll rip you apart live. I mean, not that the studio albums aren't fantastic, but if you get the live experience, they've got a 3-headed vocal attack that will rip you apart. Fantastic stuff.
Another band I know of but I've never seen, so I will keep an eye out and make point.
Put that near the top of the list.
Yeah.
I'd be also shouting the praises of Blackbird Bridge had they not recently. Very sad, man.
A band I unfortunately only got to see once.
Oh, I saw them a bunch of times. One of my favorites, man. They're so good.
Oh my god, so incredible.
Yeah, great. Very good stuff there.
Very, very good stuff. Go and hunt it out. I'm sure it's on. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. Probably find it on Bandcamp. I don't know if they have Bandcamp.
They do.
I downloaded their album from somewhere.
Yep, from Bandcamp.
So it's out there.
There's like a 7-track album on Bandcamp.
Yeah, definitely go get it because it is.
Go grab it.
It is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Blackbird Bridge. Rest in peace.
Another one.
Can't wait to see what the guys do though, because it sounds like they're not hanging it up or anything.
Oh no,
they've got projects.
Yeah, it sounds like they're all. I was talking to I forget his name. Bass player. Blake. I ran into him at my rehearsal space, and he was like, "Yeah, I have like 4 different projects going on."
Okay, cool.
I was like, okay, cool. I mean, good for you if you can do it. I've been there. It's hard.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome that they're not just going away.
Yeah. Because Blake, all of them, like Blake, is amazing.
He's a good dude.
Mike is ridiculous on guitar. I don't want to see him stop playing. No. And Troy on drums, just as good at his instruments. Yeah, they're incredible. I'm glad I probably saw him 10 times, and I'm glad.
Nice. Yeah.
I considered myself a proud member of Flock Nation.
Nice. Yeah, again, there are so many bands that I've only seen maybe once or twice and then like break up. Then there's a bunch of other bands that I find after they break up. One of my favorite of those being Among the Serpents.
Oh, yeah.
Like, literally right after they broke out, or right before they announced it, I think I saw a video of theirs, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then like the next day I saw the announcement that they broke out.
That sucks.
Ordered the album that day.
Fortunately, I've known Brad going back to his first band. So I've followed his trajectory the whole way and knew about Among the Serpents. So I didn't fall victim to that same circumstance, but yeah, that's too bad. This is a good band.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen him live.
And his new project, Grief Collector, boy, would I like to see that live. And we were going to play with them before COVID happened. So
stupid COVID.
Let's hope that show still happens. Come on, Alex.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, because I have the latest Grief Collector album, and yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Very much so.
Controversial. What is your opinion of? Because I usually ask about the terminal. Mm-hmm. That's everybody's kind of, yardstick of like, we really play there. But you've never played there, so.
Nope, I haven't played there.
What's your opinion of Club Underground?
I love it personally. It's for what it is. If you book too big of a show there, it would be horrible. I don't like the steps.
Nobody likes the steps.
Both my son and Mike, our drummer, have wiped out on the steps in the winter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the steps suck. Come on. But
the only two things I don't like about Club Underground are the steps, obviously, and the fact that it's pitch black on stage. So if I have my set list down here, I can't fucking see it.
Yeah, it is.
Other than that,
Yep.
it's a fun place to play.
Yeah, I've been to some great shows there, and I've got a soft spot for it. And Chris Stark does a lot of the booking there, and I think he does a great job with that.
Oh, that I didn't know that.
Yeah,
cool.
And
cool.
For the metal shows and whatnot, and so that's why I fully support Chris and think he puts together great lineups. So yeah, I love it. It's a great night there. I personally am kind of a claustrophobic person, so like I said, maybe if you got too many people in there, it wouldn't be my ideal venue, but...
Yeah, because it's kind of low to begin with.
Yeah, that's where we had the Toys for Tots show that I said was probably my favorite Semtex show. And, we had over 100 in there, I'm pretty sure, comfortably, so it doesn't have to be a dinky show. But, if it's 300 or 400, you're not going to get it in there. Oh, so don't book national acts at Club Underground or anything. But yeah, as far as, even for a big local show, 100 people is pretty good. And
yeah, 100 people would be comfortable there. 150 would be pushing it. And more than that, you don't want.
Yeah,
Anything more than that, you would go to, the Amsterdam.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to play the Amsterdam. I haven't played the Caboose yet either. I really want to play the Caboose.
I've played both of those.
Good experiences?
For the most part. The Caboose was fun. It was one of Strike's Christmas shows 2 years ago. Where we did 4. We did I think 2 at Midway, 1 at Whiskey, and 1 at the Caboose, I think. And that was fun. It was interesting because I'd only seen, a handful of shows there. So I wasn't that familiar with that in the first place. And then to be able to go on stage and go to the back part of the venue where apparently no one goes unless you're in the know.
Oh.
Which is weird because it's just open.
Didn't even know about that.
But that's where the green room is, and that's the back bar there. And
cool.
On the other side of the stage. So that was fun. My Amsterdam story. So I used to be in a band. My first time in Outlaw Saint, I was also in a band that was basically Outlaw Saint with a different singer called Garage Orphans. And there was a band called Astrobeard, who I, was kind of pimping in line because I heard their stuff and I liked it. And I think I saw them at Lee's or something, and I liked it. And the main guy in Astrobeard messaged me or found out that I was in a band. He's like, "Hey, you guys want to come open our CD release show at Amsterdam?" And I was like, "Yeah." But it was weird because we're like, okay, 2 bands the night. We're going to split the night, each getting hour and a half, give or take.
Yep.
Yeah, no. That was our mistake. we were hanging out backstage, and everybody's talking fine, and he started asking about our set, and I was like, and we were like, yeah, we have about 75 minutes, give or take, and he was like, oh no, you guys have 45 minutes or whatever, and you should have been on stage 5 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Okay, gotta go. But other than that, it was really, it's an incredible room.
Yeah, I would love to play it.
But that was a good time. That was fun.
Good deal. I hope we get a show there sometime. Mike got to play there with Krog. But nope, no Semtex yet.
Yeah, I think the only big show I saw there was Buried Above Ground, with a half a dozen other bands, who most of which I don't remember. I have the flyer behind the TV somewhere, but
are they the ones who got in trouble?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is why I'm like, can I still wear my Buried Above Ground?
I don't know. Did they buy the artwork?
That's a good question.
I don't know them guys, so
yeah, and I don't know what the story is.
Yeah.
Where this is just hearsay, but
I'm just trying to joke. Josh around.
Yeah. As you do. Yeah. So, Marvel or DC?
Not a comic guy. I like some of the adaptations. I like the Watchmen a lot, and I don't know if is that even Marvel or DC, or is that a separate entity?
That might be a separate entity.
I like that. Yeah, I'm not a big comic guy, unfortunately. I like the Tick. The Tick was great.
Well, Tick is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just looking down at my Blu-rays and it's like, there's my Marvel section, there's my DC section, there's my X-Men section, there's my Star Wars section.
Yeah, I don't know. The superheroes have just, I've always enjoyed it, but it's never clicked into like a passion for me. So
fair enough.
I can't say that I've got a strong opinion on any of that. Love the old pushing the boundaries bands, you know, singing this and that. Mm-hmm. Like, ooh, wow, can you believe they said that? You know, I enjoy that kind of thing, so. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I still enjoy my SOD.
Yes.
Speaking of Charlie Benante and some awesome drumming.
Yes, oh, God. Oh, yeah.
What a record that is. Oof.
And again, a record you so could not make today.
Nope. Couldn't get away with that.
You didn't put out the track list today.
No.
You'd be like, nope.
No, it's amazing that Billy Milano still plays shows. I don't know how he gets away with it. But yeah. I think he's probably lucky that the other guys are in bigger bands and probably obviously, you know, very not speak English or die of their mentality.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. What an incredible record. That's definitely way amongst my maybe top 20.
Nice.
The crossover stuff really, like Dealing With It by DRI is the first one that knocked me upside the head. And Omega Sequence. Oh my God. My Zero, they were on one of the first shows, that first show we played, when I couldn't remember who else was on the bill. They were one of them.
Yeah, My Zero's awesome.
Yep.
Beast Faced, if you've never seen Beast Faced, they're an experience.
I have heard that. I haven't seen them, but I've heard they're, like, people talk about them like there's something special there.
Yeah, I think I've only seen them once, but you remember.
Yeah. Kind of like Dumpster Juice or something. You don't forget that experience.
Yeah, and of course, Omega Sequence. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know if they're still in existence.
I think they are, because I think we've heard them jamming in our practice building.
Okay. Awesome.
Hope that's you guys, because I love them.
Too, yeah, I mean, they're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I spent 3 hours on that couch talking to your drummer. So, yeah, John, shout out. And I saw the Omega Sequence at Park Wolf, another great freaking venue.
Yep, great venue.
They did a show. Their singer was not there. He I forget why. So they did an instrumental set. That was awesome.
That'd be very cool, man. That's some really cool music to like check out. Not to speak ill of my craft, but without the distraction of vocals, you know. I get to see our songs instrumentally, and it's phenomenal. You know, I don't like instrumental music all the time per se, but to hear it that way, you know, when you're used to the vocals, is really cool to hear the details you're not picking up on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's another aspect that I find interesting. The instrumental metal bands that we have, that I thought, because again, like if a band put out an instrumental on a record, that's the one I'm going to skip, because it's kind of like, you can only do so much with that in a metal context.
Yeah.
But I think I saw 3 of them in one night.
Really?
At a show. I think it was Samantha was there. And I'm going to forget the name. Constants and Variables opened the show. It was at Club Underground.
Okay, I haven't seen them, so I didn't know they were instrumental.
They were interesting because they definitely had like a jazz influence.
Ooh, I bet I'd like that.
And then Zenith Waves was the other one.
Ooh, cool.
So I'm like, oh, so not only is this a thing, there's like a shitload of bands that, okay, fair enough.
Very cool.
And they're all very, very different, which was cool.
Wasn't Cult of the Wizard instrumental for a while? And then got vocals?
No idea, maybe.
I'm thinking that's the case. Like that, their first couple might have been instrumental. And if you're into the doom, stoner doom kind of thing, check out Cult of the Wizard. My God, good stuff, man. So much good stuff in this town. Wichita, just no end. I'm gonna like think of 20 bands when I leave here and be like, all right, we need another segment of the podcast. I've got a list.
Just bring me on your radio show. We can
man, we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen. You got to put together your metal playlist.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We'll get you on there for sure. That would be fantastic.
Do some like proto metal stuff and do like a whole history canon.
That would be great. Let's do it.
So you're doing that. So tomorrow is the metal takeover.
The Root takeover. The following day, if that's okay if I move on.
That's what I was leading up to.
I've got another podcast, Ritual Madness with Greg Chilton.
Awesome, Greg Chilton.
Great podcast, great guy. It's going to be, this interview I've really enjoyed, and I'm sure this is the one with Greg is going to also be fantastic.
Basically, the one with Greg will be this, only going way more in depth.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about like some of the 80s metal scene. I think we're going to get pretty into from Minnesota. Emphasize that more than I'm trying to think of current bands right now and failing. But Plague of Stars, another awesome band, also featuring Aaron Lanik.
Yeah,
Neil Pruitt.
If you like symphonic type stuff, definitely check them out.
That's what's great about this town is it's got so many genres covered. It's there's something for everybody, and that's why you really need to be coming out to shows. Give it a shot. You might not like every band, but you're gonna like some of it. And like I said, the atmosphere is festive. It's non-confrontational. It's not violent, or I've seen very little problems like that at shows locally. So
yeah, you will never run into a case of walking into a show and people staring at you like you don't belong.
No, total friendliness.
It's so welcoming.
Just happy people that are there to it's been a long week of work and got to let the steam off, and it's a good way to do it.
Absolutely. So yeah. Tune in tomorrow to KAFI.
Yep.
All day. Metal all day.
Metal all day. 24 hours.
My man, from 6 to 9 a.m. So for your drive in to work.
Yep.
Good way to start out the day.
Please check it out.
And then Friday night, I think that starts 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock somewhere.
9 o'clock. I think it's 9ish to 11ish. 9ish to 11ish.
And that's Ritual Madness Podcast.
I think it's .com.
I think it's .com.
But I'm not positive. But just search Ritual Madness Podcast. It'll come right up. Great.
Yeah, you can also
find it.
You can also find it on Facebook and on YouTube, and just search Ritual Madness. You'll find it.
You're probably friends with Greg anyway.
And if you're friends with Greg, you probably know that he's going to be on it. You've seen the promos for it.
And then I'm actually, the following day, also the regular Root of All Evil broadcast.
There you go. So you could spend your entire weekend with Josh.
If you like my voice, Josh ASMR. It's here for you.
Well, dude, this has been a long time coming.
I'm so happy to have done it, man.
Yeah,
big time.
More of it. And yeah, so that's all we got.